Hi, welcome to Yoga with Cheryl. Today's practice will be a 15-minute morning wake-up flow. It will be rejuvenating and energizing and approachable by all levels. I'll go through the sequence with two variations, one for beginners and one for those that have been practicing a while and feel quite comfortable with the moves. So I'll meet you on the mat. Let's come onto your back, bending your knees, planting your ankles right underneath your knees. Take your arms about 45 degrees from the body and just start to gently sway those knees from side to side. Start to release the low back here and just creating a little bit of movement before we make those moves a little bit bigger. So perhaps you just woke up, perhaps you've been sitting at a desk. Either way, let this really bring some sense of ease into the back. Take the ankles underneath the knees, draw the right knee in towards the chest, broaden across the chest, start to circle that ankle just a few times in each direction. All the while connecting to that breath. Smile. Let those toes splay too. Beautiful. Squeeze it in. Extend that right leg up to the sky. And just start to point and flex the toe. Drawing it down to the nose and pointing it up to the sky, feeling into that sensation. Maybe even press through your heel, hold behind the thigh, pressing the thigh into the hand, starting to get into the hamstrings and the back. Beautiful. Bend that knee, hug it in, draw the nose up to meet the knee, and lower the head back down. And we'll switch sides, drawing the left knee in towards the chest. Hug it in nice and close and start to circle that ankle. Of course, checking out both directions here. Let your toes kind of spread around too. Hug that knee in again and then extend that leg up to the sky. You can hold the calf or behind the thigh and start to point and flex the toe. Try and keep the upper back on the ground here, the head on the ground, so bend the knee if necessary. Just pointing and flexing a couple more times. And maybe stretch through your heel, maybe engage your quadricep, reach that heel up to the sky, maybe massage that leg, whatever feels good right now. Deep breath in and exhale, squeeze that knee in, hug the knee into the chest and lower the head, lower the foot. Take those feet a little bit wider and once again start to rock into the pelvis here. Let those knees gently ease from side to side as you rock from one side of the foot to the other. Maybe start to enhance your breath here. Plant the ankles underneath the knees. Hug the right knee in. Use the abdominals and hug the left knee in. Coming into half happy baby pose, plant that left foot back down on the ground. Slide that right knee out towards your right rib cage. External rotation here through that right hip. And either holding back of the thigh or holding the outer edge of the foot here to keep the chest open. Maybe taking the ankle or the sole of the foot and drawing that knee down towards the ground, just outside of the body. Breathe here. Opening these hips that have been sleeping all night. Nice, and bend that knee, draw it down. Take the opposite knee in. You're going to draw it out towards the left side of your rib cage, so externally rotate that hip and start to encourage that left knee down towards the ground. So maybe it doesn't meet the earth, that's okay. You want to keep your pelvis in neutral here, so try to avoid that left hip from rising up. Breathing into some space here in that left hip. Hug that knee back into the chest and draw the left knee up. Right knee up. Both knees up. Begin to circle those knees using the guidance of your hands a few times in each direction as you breathe. Keeping those belly muscles strong. Draw the knees in, hug the knees a little bit closer, roll the nose to meet the knees, strong belly, and lower back down. Let's take full happy baby pose here. So taking both knees out towards the rib cage, you can hold behind the kneecaps, or taking the full expression, walking the hands to the outer edges of the feet. And then you use the hands to assist gravity to maybe see if you can get a little bit more juice in those hips. Maybe play with taking one foot out to the side. Take a few breaths there. You'll see babies doing this in the crib, so it's appropriately named happy baby pose. You've never seen a crying baby do it. Make sure you take it to the other side too. Have a little smile on your face. Beautiful. Hug both knees into the chest, and using abdominals, lower those feet down. Now let's take those feet to the end of the mat. Stretch the arms above the head. And come into the side body stretch here. So bring your body over towards the right. Call this banana asana. You can reach your arms above the head, taking one wrist, crossing the outer ankle over that inner ankle, or not, depending on what your body's ready to receive here. Keep some ease in the shoulders, so if necessary, just bend your elbows here. Breathe into those exposed ribs. This feels good. This morning stretch. Or end of the day stretch. Just opening up the side body. Nice. Let's take it over to the other side. So take your foot over to the other corner of the mat, cross the ankle over, and arch your body over to the other side. Beautiful. Keeping the entire back of the body on the ground. Relaxing the arms into the floor. Breathe here into those left ribs. Let's ease that back. Uncross the legs. Hug them into the chest again, using abdominal muscles to draw them in. And you're going to plant your hands behind your knees and begin to rock and roll up and down your spine. Again, using a little momentum, but also using abdominal muscles. Again. And come to seated. Inviting you to come onto your knees and your hands. Let your toes lengthen behind you. You're coming into cow and cat. Let's start to get into that spine. So, of course, front of the shoulders at the wrists, and start to, as you exhale, draw the navel to spine, look towards the knees, inhale, come forward, exhale to squeeze, press the earth away, inhale, maybe soften the elbows, get into the elbow joints. Beautiful. Walk your hands one hand length forward, maybe two hand lengths, so that when you stretch back your sitting bones towards your heels, then you would have your ears between your arms. But right now, let those shoulders come over the wrists or slightly back of the wrists. Some wrists don't like going to 90 degrees, and you're focusing here on stabilizing your abdominal muscles. So hug those belly muscles in and up towards the back. Option number 2, peel the knees off the floor, coming into full plank pose. Coming onto the creases of the toes, pressing the thigh bones up, reaching through the heels, pressing down through the hands, reaching the back of the ribs up. Next option, peel the left heel off the ground, coming into three-legged plank, and you'll just alternate. You can do this again from your knees. Do this several times, really pressing the earth away with the hands. Beautiful. Lower the knees back down. Draw back into child's pose. Soften the elbows here in this child's pose, just staying for a couple of breaths. Letting the belly drape over those thighs that are parallel. We're feeling a stretch to the front of the ankles. We're going to come back up into tabletop, fingers spread wide. Begin to tuck your toes under. Take your feet further back so that when you come forward again, you're not surpassing your wrists with your shoulders. So you can come back into that modified plank on the knees or come back into full plank. Press the earth away. We're going to do this again, lifting one heel. You're really energizing here, getting warmed up, lifting the other heel. It doesn't come any higher than your hip though. You'll continue with that or modify bringing a knee on the ground. So I've demonstrated both options. You choose yours. All levels, morning wake up. Beautiful. Lowering the knees. Come into child's pose. And downward facing dog. Begin to peel your sitting bones up to the sky, pressing the chest back towards the thighs, press the floor with the hands, stretch the crown of the neck, and start to lift one heel and then lower the other heel. So just pedaling those feet very mindfully, very strong, getting into both knees, bending them, and then lowering both heels down to the ground. Keep the belly contained here. Begin to draw that left foot inside that left wrist, coming into Crescent Lunge. Slide that back knee back a lot. Inhale, extend your arms up to the sky here. Track that front knee over the middle of the foot. Get a deep stretch through the front of the hips. Peel that foot up, come back, either into plank or three-legged dog. And then draw that right foot forward, planted inside the wrist. Inhale, open up through the front of the hip. So you're keeping your quadriceps open on the far side and opening the hip on the right side. Beautiful. Step back into downward dog, please. Right leg up to the sky, bending the knee. Opening that hip a little bit more, pressing into an imaginary wall with that foot. Square off your pelvis and lower that foot down. You can do this on your knees. I'll demonstrate on the knees. Otherwise, you'll stay up high. You simply open up that hip. I like to call it dog on a fire hydrant. I honestly can't remember the yoga name. So press the earth away again. Come back up. And you're going to lunge. Right foot forward, and then you're going to step your back foot forward. So peel the back foot up, step it forward, bowing down over those legs. You can keep those knees bent. Just make sure those feet are parallel. Always remember those quadriceps are active when you're in a forward fold. We're going to bend the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, bend the knees, fold over those legs. Inhale, bend the knees, using strong legs here, reaching up. And exhale, folding forward. Make sure that's moving from the pelvis. Inhale to stretch up. Exhale, draw forward. Inhale, press the floor away, get tall, reach up, a little bit of a back bend, and square those shoulders over the hips, taking one wrist, cross one ankle over the other, and lean to one side. And other side, you're going to cross the other ankle over, lean up and out of that hip, reaching up and out, pressing the feet into the ground. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way up, square off those feet, square off the pelvis, and fold forward. Lift the toes, spread them wide, lower them back down. Let's lunge both feet back, come back into plank or tabletop, and slowly lower your chest down to the ground. Lower the body down to the ground, energize the thighs, squeeze the thighs together, use your glute muscles here, and begin to stretch your hands alongside your body, stretching the crown out of the hips. Keep the thighs active. Option, lifting your feet off the floor. Keep squeezing those thighs together, reaching through your toes, reaching through your fingers. Keep breathing here, strong through the belly, strong through the glutes, getting a little bit warmer, strengthening the back, warming up here, breathing here, and release. Hands down, draw the sitting bones up and back, and come into downward facing dog. Feeling that heat here, feeling warm, feeling like you've woken up. Extend the right leg up, step it through. Lower that back knee on the ground, coming into a twist, planting that left hand under the shoulder, pivot your chest towards that bent knee. Keep hugging that knee into the chest. Choose your arm variation, stretching up around the back or resting on the thigh. Beautiful. Release that hand down. Peel the back knee up, step back into downward facing dog. And then you'll lunge the opposite foot forward. You can do that from tabletop or from downward dog. Knee tracking over the middle of the foot. Slide that back knee back a lot and then peel the thigh off the ground. Right hand directly under the right shoulder, pivoting the chest towards that bent knee. Waking up the side body muscles, waking up and twisting the spine here. Beautiful movements. The spine can move in 6 different directions, and we take it through all of them today. Nice. Step the back foot forward, coming back into standing forward fold. Bend the knees, press the earth away, and come into chair pose. This is a little bit of a back bend, so allow that to happen. Keep those knees close together, toes on the ground. Arms can be forward as an option or on your hips. Let's finish this strong. Maybe bend the knees a little bit more. Press the earth away. Reach up, reach up, reach up. And hands to heart center to finish up our quick sequence this morning. Closing with the hands at the heart, connecting to the heart space. Taking a few moments here to come into the heart and speaking kind words to yourself. Choosing to set your day, set your intention, choosing to be happy, knowing that it is a choice. Thank you. Thank you for showing up to the mat with me. Namaste. May you be well.